Hello everybody, Robo here from Entertainment Vending, bringing you a new video. Many have recently been going over the news of AlphaDream's unfortunate bankruptcy. In this video I'm not going to pull any punches and I'm attempting to delve deeper below the surface and explain why AlphaDream died. While many are now in mourning after AlphaDream's seemingly untimely demise, grief can often lead people to ignore many things and cloud their judgment. Often at a eulogy, the person being spoken of will be described in glowing terms, and anyone listening might believe that the person had no faults, made no mistakes, and was overall just an unrealistically perfect person. This isn't reality though, so instead of looking back at all the good AlphaDream did, we have to look at their bad as well, which came up especially towards their end. Mario & Luigi is Nintendo's second Mario RPG series after Paper Mario. It launched on the Game Boy Advance, and has stayed a portable Nintendo series since. Unlike Paper Mario, which eventually lost its RPG core, Mario & Luigi embraced it, and is even called Mario & Luigi RPG in Japan, so it was never really in danger of losing its core gameplay style. We all know what happened with Paper Mario, so I won't go into depth on that here, but what isn't talked about nearly as much is a similar fall for Mario & Luigi. It's been addressed by fans, but it never got the massive attention and near-universal fan backlash that Paper Mario's downfall did. Mario & Luigi never completely betrayed its style. The style that was introduced in Superstar Saga is largely the same style that Paper Jam had. AlphaDream ran their series the way that any good series should. It kept its core and developed its concept further with every subsequent release. They also introduced new ideas with every release to keep things fresh. The franchise peaked with Bowser's Inside Story. The game offered a large world. Bowser inside 2D sections broke up the pace and brought in new ideas. And overall, it was a very polished version of what they began with Superstar. Sadly, it was all downhill from there. I'm not going to say that Dream Team was bad. It has its fans and still stands as a competent entry in the series. It had a story and still features the wacky characters and locales the series is known for, but it was still a watered-down version of what we got in the past. And it was unfortunate that they didn't go bolder for their debut on 3DS. What came after was a tragedy. Mario & Luigi Paper Jam may not be a travesty on the level of Sticker Star, but this game bears many similarities to that scenario. It takes away so much about what made Mario & Luigi Mario & Luigi. Thankfully, the gameplay formula is still intact, and a lot of the charm and humor in the animation and writing are still present, but the locations and characters, which were brimming with creativity, are almost nowhere to be found. Instead, they are replaced with shallow and generic New Super Mario Bros. Placeholders. Grasslands, desert, lava area, etc. You also get a great share of generic colored toads, complete with hide-and-seek mini-games. AlphaDream put out a product that they couldn't have expected their fans to be excited for, could they? How could such a hollowed-out shell of their prior work be the worthy next addition in such a beloved series? It was a disappointment for sure, and all could only hope that they would go into a better direction with the next game. The game was released, and while it was not a critical bomb or a financial failure, it did mark a drop-off in sales and critical acclaim from previous entries. The game sold a great deal less than Dream Team, and it was nowhere near as successful as Bowser's Inside Story. The game holds a 76 on Metacritic, compared to Dream Team's 81. The critics reviewing the game likely didn't have the decline of the series' heart in mind and saw a game which had good core gameplay, but it still represents a decline in praise. Bowser's Inside Story had a whopping 90. What happened next seemed to be a step in the right direction for AlphaDream. They decided to remake Superstar Saga and Bowser's Inside Story, arguably their two best games, on the 3DS. This seemed to show them acknowledging their old work and would give them an opportunity to discover so much of Mario & Luigi's greatness, which was lost with Paper Jam. The creative characters and locations remade on the 3DS. So they could make these games and discover that Mario & Luigi magic as they prepare to bring us Mario & Luigi on Switch. Sadly, the truth was far from that. It seems AlphaDream only remade those games because they were the most cost-effective option, and because they were capable of making the most money because of the dedicated fans that would buy remakes of prior installments. It turns out that after Paper Jam, AlphaDream may have been low on cash, and had to try to make back their debt, with the low-cost operations which were the 3DS remakes. When these remakes were greenlit and being made, AlphaDream should have known they'd be their death knell if they sold poorly. They should have known that the 3DS was a system on its way out, and that the Switch was being released the same year as Superstar Saga DX, let alone the 2019 release for Bowser's Inside Story on 3DS. I know it's unfair to judge someone for the decisions they made in the past when you have the privilege of the knowledge of how events ended up playing out, but whoever made the decision to have AlphaDream put their eggs in two 3DS remake baskets in 2017 and 2019 clearly lacked forethought. Now perhaps Nintendo should give them a second chance and settle their debt. But Nintendo likely sees a company that's games have been in sales decline for multiple installments and multiple years, and a company that can't manage its own finances effectively enough to stay afloat, and they'll just walk away and let their story come to a close. Hopefully this isn't Mario & Luigi's end, and a truly bold and triumphant return can come hopefully not too far away in the future. I just think it's important to understand that this did happen for a reason. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to bring you a new video soon. Goodbye.